Yeah.
And it was like a bloodbath. I'm not bled. And she goes, no, not all miscarriages bleed.
Silent, yeah.
It's a silent miscarriage. But I looked at my pad and thought, where's my baby?
Welcome back to my visual diaries. I'm Maryam, the chosen one for all you guys who are new. And if you're not new, thanks for retuning back into your girl. I'm here on another video to discuss a sensitive topic that might be a little bit triggering for some people. So if it is, I totally understand if you want to skip this video and just move on to something a bit more lighter at heart. I'm here with my good friend, and she's also experienced loss, and she wanted to come on and share her story with you guys. So without further ado, I'm going to ask my friend to join us. Thanks for tuning in.
I'll say that on my maternity Brown show.
Yeah, you look fine. Hi guys, so we're here with the lovely Tanya.
Hi.
And if you hear any rustling in the background, that's her little rainbow baby that she's brought, and I will, with her permission, show you guys how cute he is. So stay tuned till the end. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't done already. And as part of I won't even say it's a series now, I think it's just an ongoing trend. Ever since we spoke about miscarriage, loads of women, you were like the first.
Yeah.
I think from the first time that I even started YouTube, she was like, I'm going to tell my story. I was like, I'm not ready yet. So she was all ready and prepared to share. And I think it is important for us to share as women, because your experience is completely different to my experience. 100%. It's not all miscarriages are the same, as I've gathered.
Yep.
And she's here to share her experience of having a miscarriage, I think, for the first time. So I'll leave you to do that. So we're going to start with, how many children do you have?
I've got 4 children. One at 15, nearly 16. One that's nearly 12. One at 8, and Naraya, who's 9 months.
And Naraya, like I said before, is the rainbow baby, and we'll get to how soon she conceived. And it's people like her that's putting my womb under pressure, I kid you not, because why is it not happening for me? I don't understand. Sure, just multi-blessed, honest to God. So was this baby planned?
No, none of them have been planned.
What, spontaneous?
All 5,
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So talk me through.
So in July 20, wait, I have to talk to the other one because I didn't feel like it was that long ago. July 2023, I discovered I was pregnant. Like I said, it was unplanned.
I didn't even know she was pregnant.
Yeah.
I think, did I see it?
I think it was Sonia seeing me, and she seen me with a bump.
No, but I think I just messaged you on a whim.
Yeah.
Just to check in.
Yeah.
I think I literally just messaged you like, hi Tanya, and man, are you okay? Whatever. You were like, I was pregnant the other day. Also, I was like, huh? When? It was literally like that. I was like, what? Yeah, I had a miscarriage. I said, when? Oh my God! Because
I know you're going for what you're going
exactly. Just a little bit of a backstory. So I've known Tanya literally all my life. We went to primary school and high school, and we're still here going strong. It's not often you have friendships where you can just still have the same bond from 100 years ago.
And our mums.
Yeah, our parents know each other. Our families know each other, actually. We've actually got
family in common.
Yeah, we're related through family, basically. Because your niece is my cousin.
Cousin, yeah.
And your sister is my cousin also, Leah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God.
So, the bloodline goes way back. And do you know what's so beautiful about our relationship? Totally off track, 99 stories in one, is the fact that we don't speak often, but we know each other's there anyway, if that makes sense. So sporadically we'll just check in and see what going on, and and I love it like that, because we can always pick up from where we left off.
Exactly.
Lovely and organic. All right. Anyway, let's go back to, so you found out you were pregnant. So what made you take the test? Was you late?
Yeah, I was late, and I thought,
how far late though?
I realised I was, because I had the app.
Yeah.
And I checked and I was like, okay, about 3 days late. Maybe it's just me. I've got a lot going on. Maybe I just lost track of everything. And I thought, no, I'm not late. I'm really not late.
Did you feel different?
No, that's the thing. And I don't feel any different. I don't have no morning sickness, no nausea, no nothing.
No tender boobs or
nothing.
anything? Really?
The only time I got was with autumn.
Right.
Literally the only time I got that. And that was when, and it's weird because Lidine told me I was pregnant before I even knew myself. It's crazy. And I was only like 4 weeks gone. And she told me. And I was like, here we go again. And I thought, do I really want more kids? Well, it's here now, so there's nothing I can do about it. So, I thought, okay, then fine. So I told Leon, I mean, I think I took a test the same week and it came back. I was actually quite happy. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm pregnant, and told Leon was happy. June told me as well, prior to me finding out.
Really?
Yeah, she said to me, are you pregnant? I was like, nah. And then I found out I was the same week. So I told my children. Perez was upset, obviously because he's been the youngest for so long.
Yeah. Oh, you're having a sibling?
Yeah, no, he was actually physically bawling.
Oh my!
I was like, wow. I said, it's not that bad. You're going to be a big brother. And then Autumn and Logan were happy, obviously, and we were all happy. So I thought, okay, they're happy, I'm happy. So,
and we're women of faith, so
yeah, exactly.
there's no other option. Yeah. The abortion doesn't. No disrespect to anyone that wants to do it, but it doesn't come into it. We make it happen.
Yeah, exactly.
She's got a 7-seater outside. She's in before, but she's got one now. She made it happen.
Exactly.
Say hi to my family on YouTube. Say hi.
Hello, Bouge. Yeah.
Look at him. He knows my theme tune, guys.
He does.
When I come on, he watches Maryam the Chosen One.
Yeah.
Oh, so pudding. No breast. You want your breast.
That's what he wants. Yeah.
Yeah, he does.
So I So yeah. So obviously I started like preparing myself. Obviously I knew I was probably went to the hospital. The doctors checked in, doing what you normally do when you find out you're pregnant.
I know, but they don't do that anymore, do they?
You have to do it yourself. You don't go to the doctor. The doctor does it for you. You got to do it all yourself.
Do it all yourself.
So I thought it was a bit weird because I was like, really? And you choose what hospital you want from online now, don't you? And
yeah.
I don't like it like that.
No,
I don't. Because when I had the other three, I had to go to the doctors, and the doctor done it all for us. So it's all done different. So, I went to fast forward a few weeks. I was preparing myself. I was away. I had my bump. My bump was growing and everything. And I went to Prague for a few days, and I came back and I had an event. And I didn't feel well. Like I was ill. So I came home.
Your morning sickness.
Like just like constant diarrhea. It was horrid.
Really?
I know it's TMI, but it was horrible. So I went home, sorted myself out, and a few days later I realised that I was getting a funicular discharge, and I thought, okay, that's happened to kids before, but
Has that happened in your pregnancy before?
Prior, yeah, and I just went to the hospital and they were just like, no, it happened with Logan, I'm lying. It didn't happen with others. So I phoned the hospital.
When you say fully coloured, was it just like mucousy but got pink?
It's pink, yeah.
I had that with the ectopic.
Did you?
Yes, it wasn't blood,
yeah,
but it just had a tinge in it.
Yeah, it had a tinge in it, yeah.
Yeah, it had a tinge.
Yeah. So I went phone hospital and I explained that I'm rhesus negative. So they said, well, if you're rhesus negative, you need to come straight back. Because at this time I thought.
Can you explain what rhesus negative is?
So it's
for all who don't know.
So yeah, so my blood group is O negative. So people have A blood group or AB. I'm I'm O negative, which is like 10% of the world population. So all my children got positive blood group. Oh, and you're positive as well. All my children are positive. So all my children are positive. So for this baby's a chance, obviously, if 3 of them are already positive, chances are this baby's going to be positive. So if our blood, because I'm negative and the baby's blood could be positive, if our blood, my body discovers through bleeding that my baby's got a positive blood group, it creates an antibody that attacks the baby and could potentially kill it.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So
You've taught me something new today.
really,
Yeah.
it could potentially kill it. So I had to go in to get anti-D. That's what I went to the hospital for, to get an anti-D injection. Went in and they said, oh, since you're about 11 and a half weeks, going on 12 weeks, we're going to scan you. So I said, all right then, fine, no problem. So they scanned me. I was waiting around for it felt like forever, because I went to it's not the antenatal department, it's a different department you go to, isn't it?
Where did you go?
Women's Show.
Women's Show, early pregnancy unit,
that's what it's called, the early pregnancy unit. So I went into there. They scanned me, and when she was scanning me, she goes, the sonographer was like, I make funny faces when I'm trying to concentrate, but I was looking at her.
So did they do transvaginal or on the
belly at first?
On the belly, because obviously you
12 weeks, so it'd be a good sized baby. So I was like, she's not saying anything. So I said, is everything okay? She's like, yeah, how far gone are you? So I was like, I'm 12 weeks this week. And she's like, She goes, have you ever had the internal scan? So I said, yeah. She goes, right, I'm going to have to do one for you. So I said, all right, no problem. So she went and I prepared myself for it, obviously. She's done it. And she was like, I said, can you see baby now? She goes, yeah, but how far gone? I said, 12. She goes, it's coming up at 5.
Right, so in your gut, before she said that, did you have an intuition
that something was wrong?
Something was wrong? Because we know in it as women.
I knew that something was wrong. But when she said she's got to do it, I was like, that's not right. Because it's supposed to be a full-on.
Yeah,
obviously it's not going to be big, but
you've had babies before, so you know what to go off, and what to expect.
So I said, so how big's that? And she goes, about this big. I was like, what? I said, no. I said, I think there's something wrong. She goes, I don't know if it's picking up your heartbeat or if the baby's detecting the baby's heartbeat, but you got to come back next week. So I was like, right, okay. And she goes, I'm sorry, but you could have had a silent miscarriage. I was like, no, she said you could have miscarried. And I said, no, I'm not bled. And she goes, no, not all miscarriages bleed.
Silent, yeah.
It's a silent miscarriage, so your body thinks it's still pregnant, even though the baby's been dead for 7 weeks.
Yeah, because your hormones are still going to be
doing what it's doing,
yeah.
I said, the baby's been, and I was like, really? She said, yes, I've never heard that before.
I had a silent miscarriage. Not last one, the one before.
Yeah, it's horrible.
Yeah. Because you still go through the same.
I've got pictures of the bump and everything.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And I was like, right. And I said, do you know what? I trust in what God's got planned for me. That's what I said to the sonographer. She goes, okay then. And I left and she goes, you've got to come book an appointment to come on Tuesday. So I said, all right, no problem. So I spoke to another, is it a midwife that I have on the ward? The midwife's in it?
Yeah.
And she said, you never know, if come next week, because it has happened, the baby might be full size, it might just be quite small, and it just goes through a growth spurt.
Yeah.
So I thought, okay, but that still doesn't sound right to me, because she's going to know what she's talking about, that's her job.
Yeah.
But so is the midwife, you know what I mean? So I was like,
and you know what, miracles do happen.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know what I mean? There are women out there that have discussed going there and they're saying, oh, there's no baby, whatever.
And they go back and there's a baby.
And they go back and there's a
full-on baby, yeah.
So
I was like, oh, okay then, no problem. So I thought it was the longest week of my life. So I was like, right. So I was like, I've continued, was working, doing what I was doing. And I noticed that my blood started to get a bit thicker, but they said, don't worry about it. You could still be pregnant. So I was like, okay then.
Oh, was you starting to bleed heavier?
Yeah, it's like a little bit heavier, not too much heavier. So I was like, okay then. But I started wearing a pad to monitor it.
Yeah.
Trust your plan, Lord. And if the baby's no longer alive, if you just expel it, that's fine. So I remember going to work the Monday morning and thinking, can't wait tomorrow to get this scan so I can see what's going on. So I know exactly what's going to happen. And I thought I needed the toilet, but it's weird when I think about it now. I've got the urge to push.
Really? Do you feel pressure?
Yeah, when you feel pressure, yeah. And because every time I went to the toilet, there was just nothing there. And I was like, I'm going home. I'm going home because I can't work my day like this. I can't keep stopping and starting. And I'm getting this pressure. So I phoned my mum and I said to my mum, I think I was talking about the next day with her. And I said to her, I was driving and I drove past my church. And as I drove past my church, I felt whoosh, literally. Oh, it was horrible. And I said to Mum, that don't feel right. So Mum said, when you get home, call me. So, because my mum's never been through this before, so she doesn't know what to expect. And she goes, what did you feel? And I said, I just felt like a big gush from in between my legs. So she's like, right, okay, when you get home, call me. So I wasn't far from home. I ran upstairs and I called Leon. And I was like, Leon. And he said his heart sunk, he knew something. He goes, you never go to the toilet and come went straight upstairs.
Yeah.
And it was like a bloodbath. And they said just loads of blood on the floor. I didn't want the kids to come. I told them to keep the kids downstairs because I had to clean up after myself.
Oh my God.
And the pad was full, the toilet was just full of, because when I sat on the toilet, I could just feel droplet.
Coming
Just
out.
coming out.
Oh my God.
And
see, this is what I mean when I says everyone's experience is different, because I didn't experience, even though I had some bleeding last year, there was nothing like that at all.
I sat on top and I felt like I was just peeing blood. And again, this might seem gross and too much information, but I looked at my pad and thought, where's my baby? That's the first thing I thought. Where is the baby? I remember going to the toilet. I thought, let me just try and see if I can see something. And I moved, there's nothing there. So obviously, like, I phoned the hospital. The hospital was like, right, bring your pad. So I was like, right, okay.
So did you have cramps along with that bleeding?
Nothing. That's what I mean. Nothing at all.
What the hell?
Nothing at all. This is the craziest part of it. No cramps. So I went so I was at the hospital. I look at TikTok, because TikTok's my go-to for things like this. And those are people that bled heavily and not lost a baby. So maybe I might be fortunate enough. So the doctor rang me when I left, just as I left the dentist, and she said, can you go and check your pad? So I went in and checked my pad, and she says, is it full? I said, very. I said, I need to change it. So she goes, right, you need to get in here as soon as you can. So I said, right. She goes, can you bring someone with you? So I said, yeah. So I remember when I went to change it, it was just on the floor at the place. I had to clean up after myself again.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And I've had...
Do you bleed heavy on your period?
No, this is the thing. No,
God.
I don't. No. And I was like, so I went to the hospital and my mum came with me and do the ops and stuff. I remember going to the toilet and having to change a pad again.
That is heavy bleeding.
Yeah.
What the hell?
And
I can't believe you experienced all that without any backache.
No cramps, nothing. Again, when I went to the toilet, that's how. And I remember I messed up the woman's chair in the observation room. I was like, I'm so sorry. She says it's okay.
Oh my God.
I kid you not. And I was just like, I've had, at the time it's 3 children. I've had 3 children. And I've given birth vaginally, and I don't ever recall bleeding so much.
Like this, yeah.
Combined, the 3 of them. And they came in and checked me, and a doctor said to me, I'm so sorry, Tanya, but you've lost the baby. She said, you've lost it because the amount of bleeding, but they couldn't see a baby. Yeah. When they're doing, do you want to do the cleaning up bit? Yeah. I don't know what it's called. You just lie down, but I don't know if you had it where they clean you up and I think they did a bit of internal. Yeah, they went internal and started. Yeah. Take the bits out. Yeah. Yeah, because I tried to look for a baby. A week. Yeah. Yeah,
oh my God, so hold on, so they've done the internal to see if they could feel?
Yeah, anything.
Did that hurt?
No. I think my mind was all over the place. So
oh my God, they've done it. Oh my God.
Yeah, so I've done all the cleaning up and all the stuff. Yeah.
Oh
and
God.
I said, come in tomorrow. I said, come in tomorrow for my scan. I said, yeah, we've got a scan, see everything's gone. To make sure everything's gone.
Oh, well, the thing is as well, because, do you know what actually, wait, I'm thinking I've had DNCs because I've had silent miscarriages, if that makes sense. I've not had bleeding like that. Last year was the first time that I've had a bleeding miscarriage.
Yeah, oh so really?
I've never had a bleeding one. Meaning where you just wait and everything comes out, So obviously I didn't have to get a DNC done because the body done its own thing, like what yours did. But prior to that, I went to theatre and then they had to clean everything out. But obviously, because most of yours were out and they'd done the internal anyway.
There, yeah. And I was just like okay.
I think that's better though in a way.
Because it's what it's supposed to do,
naturally, as opposed to them forcing it and scraping. Because I think you get scar tissue.
Yeah, but they don't get scar tissue when they do it like that. Yeah, because they've done it. They didn't use no instruments. Right. It was all done manually.
Yeah. I think that's better.
So I went for a scan. I think Leon's still holding out hope. And next I went in, And funny enough, my niece was there as well. So, but I know what she was dealing with. She's got a baby now as well. And they called me in, and she was scanning, and I said, "Can I ask you something?" And she said, "What?" She said, "Yeah, ask away." And I said, "Is the baby still there?" She goes, "I'm sorry, you just got the little pool of blood."
Right.
They say little pool of blood, but to me, that was a lot of blood.
Yeah.
Because when I went home to expel the rest of it, I bled for about 5 days.
Oh God.
Yeah.
So the
Like, it was
sack had
heavy,
already
yeah.
started. I don't come out.
Yeah. And I was like, okay. And I was like, Joe, I thank the good Lord for the experience. I don't know what to. For not the experience, for blessing me, even though I didn't get to hold, as we dubbed it, Phoebe. That's what we dubbed the bump.
Yeah.
Called it Phoebe. But I thank the good Lord for the little bit of life
Do you know what I always say? Even though it was a short experience and you still celebrated Phoebe in that short space of time. Yeah. And I always say, even though they say don't tell nobody until 12 weeks,
no, like, anything could happen 20 weeks.
Exactly, and I feel like, why not share it with your family? Because at least then you have that support.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know what I mean? Because imagine if you didn't tell the children and then all of a sudden you're back and forth to hospittal. They're not daft.
They're going to put two and two together.
They're going to know that something's not right, and they might even think the even worse scenario.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
me, so.
Exactly, so sometimes it is good that they do know, so when things do happen, they're kind of in the loop.
Yeah, it's true. So, so I remember coming out, because obviously, I don't know about where you've done your scans, but did they let Ruddy into the room?
Yeah.
Right, they didn't let, they said to come by myself. And when I had
Why?
the scan, I don't know, Mum said come by yourself. So I said okay. So when I had the scan, they put Leon in a side room with the kids.
Right. Maybe because you had the kids.
Maybe because I was thinking maybe because I had the kids with me.
Yeah, that's why.
Yeah. And they said, put Leon in the side room, and I sat there and I said, "There's no baby anymore." And he said, "What?" I said, "It's gone." So I think it hit pretty hard. But I was just, obviously, I've had the kids with me, so I had to keep be mum. I just had to be mum.
The motherly instinct kicks in straight
I
away.
had to be mum, and I didn't go shopping. No, they asked me, do I want to go back in the waiting area? I said, I'll go back in the room with other pregnant women. I'm sorry. I'm not a jealous person, but I don't want to see somebody, I know they're going through their problems with their baby, but I thought, I've just lost mine. They could still potentially carry theirs. Yeah, so I don't want to go back in there.
And you know, it's so funny because I was just speaking about that in a previous video with Rod, and I was just talking about our first miscarriage was the word. I remember sobbing to Roddy because these people were big belly pregnant, and it's not that you're happy for them.
Yeah, of course you're happy for them.
But your natural feel like,
where's mine?
Yeah, I never thought I would feel that way, but it definitely did.
I was like, I want my baby. That's what I was kept thinking. Yeah. I want my baby. So we went home. I remember doing what I had to do, and I messaged my sisters because we have a sister group.
Yeah.
So I messaged my sister and said I've lost a baby. So Leah rang me as soon as she seen the message. Oh my gosh, I broke. I just broke. And she said, "Tanya, I'm sorry." She said, "I've been through it myself." I said, "No, I broke. I was probably like." Do you know what
it is? And sometimes it's that when you've got that chance and you've not got the kids.
Yeah, the kids went around me.
Yeah, and you just have to really, you just need it. And sometimes it is just that one big burst.
Yeah.
Because like I said, with the first miscarriage, Roddy took that shot. He was the one.
Leon,
he was beside himself,
and
just like yourself. Because when Lily was there at the time, I had to. But we kind of know. It's almost like I prepared myself.
Yeah.
That something's not right.
Yeah,
I mentally prepared myself. So even though it was hard, he just hit rock bottom.
Yeah.
But mine didn't come until some weeks after.
Really? The day Leon was upstairs and it was just quiet. It's quiet anyway. But it was just really quiet. And I was just downstairs crying, and then I told the kids what happened, because Logan said to me, where's the scan? How did the scan go? There's no baby there. Oh. And I remember Autumn video called her cousin, because I'm always like happy and smiling, and she said to me when she comes home, she says, "Melody said you look really fed up." Yeah. Yeah, so I can't be dealing with it. So I felt okay, like So it happened on the Monday. The Tuesday I went to the hospital, stayed in my house all week, and my mum said, just come out with me on Saturday. Leon said, come out the house. So, because he knows I'm never just sat in the house, I'm always doing something. So went out with my mum to the Makers Market and come across the store. I've never seen it before, and it's weird because I don't think I've ever seen it since. And someone's making all these baby things.
Oh, I would
And
have
I
cried.
said to my mum, I think I should buy something. Mum said, why? And I said, I just want to buy something like a blanket or something. She says, don't do that to yourself. And I said,
I know,
okay,
but
then.
because she's not been through it, she doesn't understand.
Yeah, she didn't understand. Yeah, she said, don't do that to yourself. So I said, okay then. So, Leon really wanted a baby. He said, and remember, it's our first baby since marriage as well. So, Autumn and Press were conceived before we got married, and that was our.
But you know what it is as well? Going all the way to 12 weeks or 11 weeks and change.
Yeah.
That's 3 months, you know,
It's 3
celebrating
months, yeah.
like I'm having a baby.
Yeah.
So what the hell?
Yeah. So, I said to him, it will happen. If God wants it to happen, it will really, really happen.